So for the assessment training practice, 6.4, the first few questions are to determine what type of sequences it is, the arithmetic, the geometric, or neither. So for this, it will have a common difference. This would have a common, and I'll get my handwriting better, sorry, common ratio. And then neither would have neither the ratio or the difference. So what you want to start, you always want to start from the last term that is written for you. And then I recommend subtracting first, but it's up to you. So you can do, and I like to do control divide, especially when you're dividing fractions. 1 over 64. And then the previous term is 1 over 16. So then do 1 over 16 minus the next previous term. Notice that those are not the same. So don't even keep going with a pattern. Try the common ratio. So then 1 over 64. And then divide by control divide. 1 over 16. And then you get 1 over 4. And then you keep going. You have to hit control divide first. And then 1 divided by 4. So if you do it this way, the calculator will actually give you the wrong answer. So you want to make sure that you are using control divide every single time, because the calculator does the wrong order of operations. See, you get 1/4 again. So then you're going to do 1/4 and then the divide key in between and control divide. And then you're going to get 1. You don't actually have to do that. There you go. And then 1 divided by 4 gets you that. So since it's a common ratio, it will be 1 over 4. So then it's geometric. And then, of course, you would explain. For this one, like I said, I would recommend starting backwards. Subtracting 0.25, take away 1.5. 1.5, take away 2.75. Notice that they're still common, so we can keep trying. 2.75 minus 4. All right, great. And then 4 minus 5.25. So then it's common difference. So the difference is negative 1.25. So then this is the arithmetic. So you're going to have to write a sentence on the test, but that's basically how you do it. And then here, start with the difference. 50 minus 70 gets you negative 20. 70 minus 80, we already know, is not negative 20. So that's not a difference. So let's try the dividing. Let's try to find the common ratio. 50 over 70 reduces to 5 over 7. And then 70 divided by 80 gets you 7 over 8. So it's neither 1, because there is no common difference or ratio. Now for number 2, please note that it says geometric sequence. So we already know that we're going to be dividing. I already know that it's a sequence. So all we have to do is put this into the calculator. So 30.375. And now ratio, because we're dividing, over 20.25. So then my common ratio is going to be 1.5. So that's my R value. So using the recursive formula, not hat, but using the recursive formula, this is our A sub 1. So our A sub n equals our R times our previous term. So what that is 1.5 parenthesis our previous term. And then our A sub 1 is 6. So you have to tell the reader where it's starting. Now to find the 6th term, we're going to need the 5th term because that's our previous. So instead of A sub n, we're going to write A sub 6. And we're going to write 1.5 parenthesis 30.375. So 1.5, which are ratio, times our previous term. So that's going to get us 45.5625. Now to get the 7th term, you do the exact same thing. You have the ratio times now the previous term is the answer that we just found. So then we're going to put that in. And if you do it right away, you can just do the answer times 1.5. And then it's going to be 68.3438. Now it's the same formula. It's the same sequence. So we already know this part. So the explicit is telling us it's our first term times our ratio raised to the n minus 1. So all we need to do is plug it in. Our A sub 1 was 6. Our ratio is 1.5 raised to the n minus 1. Now what is the 14th term? N is equal to 14. So then we put in the 14 wherever we see an n. Now it's important that you hit the caret key here. 6 times 1.5 caret. And then we're looking for the 14th. And then you got to make sure the minus 1 is also in the exponent. So then we get 1167.72. All right, for number 3, James, what he did, he switched them. The A sub 1 should go in here, and the 1.5 should be holding up the n minus 1. So you can say the base of n minus 1 should be the common ratio. which in this case is 1.5. So the number of subscribers to a blog triples. We need to know triples means 3, and that's our ratio. Our initial subscriber is a sub 1, which is 8. So all we need to do is remember it's a sub n equals a sub 1 parentheses the ratio raised to the power of n minus 1. So all we have to do is plug in that information. We start with 8 subscribers. It's tripling every week. And then the power of n minus 1. So then here we want to know our week 12. So all we have to do is plug that in. So then 8 times 3 caret 12, take away 1. And that's going to be so the 1417176. So 1,417,176 subscribers. All right, for number 5, a pendulum swings at 90, then at 72, then 57.6, and then 46.08, and so on and so forth. So that's actually our sequence. So our explicit, remember our starting value is going to be 90. And now we need to know, let's see, the ratio. So we're going to start from the back and divide. So that's going to be 0.8. I remember a student today asking if we could do 4 over 5. I believe that's the fraction. And if you write 4 over 5 as a fraction, it's the same thing. So that's fine. And then n minus 1. So now we want to find the 10th swing of the pendulum. So we're starting at 90, 0.8, and then 10 minus 1 is in the exponent. So 90 times 0.8. And then make sure that these are in the exponent. So 12. And please don't round. Whatever your calculator says, just do the extra seconds and type it. All right. One thing that's really important that we've talked about in class a few times, you are not allowed to do 90 times 0.8 and then simplify it. You can't do that. The same with 8 times 3. You can't say 24 caret 12 minus 1. The reason why it needs to stay next to each other and why it needs to be multiplication is because of the order of operations. So the order of operations tell us that we have to do exponents first. So we are not allowed to do anything with that 8 times 3 because it comes after the exponent. So please make sure that you remember that. How I solve it is just throwing it all into the calculator all at once. So then you don't have to worry about the order of operations. The calculator will do that for you. All right. Thanks, everybody.